In order to escape the conflict that is taking place on the planet Krypton, Jor-El and Lara send their child Kal-El to Earth 30 years earlier. Kal-El goes on to be raised by his adoptive parents, Jonathan and Martha Kent, in a small town called Smallville, and his name becomes Clark Kent. The sun's light gives Clark a lot of strength. After watching the farewell message from his Kryptonian parents, Clark decides to go out and help people as Superman. 3 years later, as Clark Kent, he works for the local newspaper company with his friend Jimmy Olsen. Clark has also had relationships with Lois Lane, another co-worker. The U.S. government starts to worry about Superman's powers 3 weeks after he stops an invasion by Borovia. Lex Luthor says that if necessary, he can defeat Superman. Lex is a billionaire who can control Hammer of Borovia, which he uses to defeat Superman in a battle. Superman goes to his Fortress of Solitude, located in Antarctica, to regain his strength and power, using a small dosage of solar power. Lex Luthor despises Superman and resents him for making him look insignificant and unworthy, so using Hammer and the Engineer, manages to break into the fortress and rob Superman of his parents' message, along with a superpowered dog named Krypto. While Lex Luthor retrieves the last bit of the message, Superman, Green Lantern, Mr. Terrific, and Hawkgirl cause a diversion by fighting Lex Luthor's kaiju. Lex Luthor plays the clip, and Superman hears a new part of the speech, the part in which his parents tell him to go out and conquer Earth, that he has never heard before. The public becomes temporarily hostile to the alleged threat as a result, prompting Superman to temporarily surrender to the government and his interrogation. Because of his power, Flag hands Superman over to Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor entraps Superman and a number of other captives, including Krypto, in a man-made pocket dimension. The inmates include also Metamorpho's son. While keeping them contained, Lex focuses on devising a final plan to destroy Superman. He creates kryptonite, a deadly substance, along with a metahuman. Meanwhile, Lex's girlfriend, Eve Teschmacher, who has begun to develop feelings for Jimmy, reveals a hidden truth. Lex is secretly backing Borovia in exchange for the promise of reclaiming half of the Jarhumper territory. Just then, Mr. Terrific and Lois arrive to free Superman, Krypto, and Metamorpho, shattering the pocket dimension in the process. However, their daring rescue accidentally opens a black hole, putting the universe as a whole in grave danger. A second conflict with the Bovarians breaks out as the rapidly expanding black hole approaches Metropolis in a potentially dangerous manner. Green Lantern, Hawkgirl, and Metamorpho take on the invading forces, while Superman confronts the Engineer and Hammer, only to discover that Hammer is Lex's failed attempt at cloning him. Lex refuses to seal the black hole out of obsessiveness. In his determination to defeat Superman, he allows the Void to begin tearing Metropolis apart. Meanwhile, Mr. Terrific and Lois work to breach Lex's computer systems in a desperate bid to shut the rift. During the fight, Superman hurls his clone into the black hole, and the vortex consumes it completely. After that, Lex's plan is broadcast to the entire world by Mr. Terrific and Lois, who ultimately succeed in closing the black hole and saving the planet. Lex is finally taken into custody as soon as the order is restored. Kara Zor-El, Superman's cousin, comes to his fortress to retrieve Krypto, her dog, while Superman recovers from his injuries. He enjoys unwinding during his recovery by watching old home movies with his adoptive parents, Jonathan and Martha Kentucky. As the credits roll, Superman and Krypto gaze down at Earth from the surface of the moon. In a post-credit scene, Mr. Terrific works on repairing the damaged buildings of Metropolis, while Superman teasingly pokes fun at him for not making the repairs flawless.